Hi, this is Sean from Mind Possible. If you've been trying to learn circular breathing for the didgeridoo and you're frustrated or having a hard time, this video might give you the information you need to take that next step and become proficient at it. I'm new at it myself, but I just got to that level where I'm doing the circular breathing, and I realized that I know some things now that the more experienced players, when they teach didgeridoo, they might forget to mention these things because they're so natural to them. So that's one advantage to hearing from an absolute beginner, which is what I am. But the way I figured out how to do the circular breathing was I realized a few things, and I'll put it briefly here so you don't repeat my mistakes. One is, as a beginner, we might feel like we have to force our face into the mouthpiece to breathe and to get our lips to vibrate. And by doing that, by smashing our face against it, we close off some pockets of air right behind the upper and the lower lip. And this extra air is very important for the circular breathing. I realized when I got into the circular breathing after a while that it's not really just about the air in the cheeks. You know, that we talk about that a lot, or other people do, about the cheeks going in and out. It's not just that, it's so much more than that. There's air that will travel up, really high up under the cheeks and into the jowls. And as I mentioned earlier, behind the lips, they become pockets of all this useful air. So if you mash your face up against the mouthpiece trying to get the vibration, it's not going to work. So be very gentle. See how soft you can be with a mouthpiece while tightening your lips to create the vibration so that you can start to make the drone sound. Be very gentle. The next tip is when you get into that position, see how gently you can blow before making your lips vibrate. Very soft. If you can learn by a gentle vibration instead of blowing as hard as you can, you'll be a lot more successful sooner. And that's my experience. That by learning how to do this, blowing softly and vibrating, then it doesn't take so much air in my body to breathe out. Then I'm not desperate to inhale every chance I get. So try learning the didge softly, and then as you get into the circular breathing more proficiently, you'll be able to blow louder and louder because you'll trust your breathing process. A very important tip that I figured out, and I think some teachers mention this to one degree or another, is that instead of focusing on your cheeks expanding out and then squeezing them in so that you blow out while you inhale through the nostrils, it's more complex than that. Think instead of your cheeks just being part of the process, but that there's a lot of air here in this part of your throat. And if you're only focused on making your cheeks be like these balloons expanding and contracting, we're ignoring all the air that's available here. So you might see some videos where people are saying, practice inhaling while you do this. But it's so much more than that. If you forget this part, then you're only working with half the air. So try this. What if you did this instead? Keep your cheeks in and then open your throat as much as you can with your mouth closed. Trying to open this space in your gullet, basically in your throat. The inhale doesn't seem so drastic in this exercise, and even doing it with water is a bad thing because it teaches you that you need so much power, so much strength, but it's actually very gentle. It's the opposite. So if you can try and practice the drone, not focusing exclusively on your cheeks like balloons, but open the space in the bottom of your throat. And then feeling that your tongue down here pushing up against the didge when you're breathing out while you're inhaling, that'll help you become successful sooner. So you see, I wasn't moving my cheeks that much. It was more happening in here, and it was very gentle, it was very soft. But that's what got me from the level of being very frustrated, trying to learn the circular breathing, to taking the next step and being able to breathe circularly, which is not even a good term for it, because that's not what's really happening. But for me, being able to play for a long time without having to take my mouth off and inhale, instead just breathing with this and my diaphragm muscle. Finally, another thing I realized from practicing regularly was that the more I practiced and the more time I put into this, the more my face changed, specifically the muscles and the skin of my lips and my cheeks. And there's no way to fast forward the changes in the musculature and the flexibility. That takes time to happen on its own, which means if you quit too soon, if you give up in the didgeridoo after just a few days because you can't circular breathe yet, you're cutting yourself short because you're not giving your body the time it needs. So just continually trying to succeed will force those changes to occur in your face and in your throat so that you learn to hold more air in and learn to relax when you need to relax and learn to strengthen the lips so that they keep vibrating instead of flattening out. All of this just takes time. So just continue practicing, apply the very brief tips I gave you today, and keep watching other teachers. Keep learning all their different tricks. I'm going to put in the details section of this video the links for 2 teachers who I thoroughly enjoy watching and who have given so much great information, and I keep learning from them. I'm just a beginner, but again, these are the things that I just realized that more experienced people don't talk about because it's so natural to them. It's not natural to me, but it's what helped me get to the next level. And of course, I'm still a beginner. But these teachers below and many others on the internet have so much great information. So don't give up. Okay, bye-bye.